You're back with another one. This time we got Best Action Anime of each year by ViniTube. Each year of the 2000s. So 2000 to 2010. Trying to get some suggestions for a video or help with a video, and they're really being a little passive. A little passive. Um. So I've been gone for a. Oh, I just saw something I should not have seen. This is a big spoiler for the video. Um, I've been gone for a solid week. That's because one, I've been working on a video, a very not hard as you think, but it's a lot of editing that I have to do. Video, um, then work, nonstop, recovering from work because I've been sleeping a lot. Then I got sick, food poisoning, and then I had something planned for Thursday, and then my job talking about since you got sick for food poisoning, I changed your schedule, so now you work Thursday. I'm like, bro, I don't want to work Thursday. I had something good on Thursday. I had a backup plan if that good thing didn't even happen on Thursday. And it all got shut down. I'm still trying to do it, but it all got shut down because of work. I hate that job. I'm be honest with you. Um, but y'all don't really care about that. That's just why I've been gone. I just wanted to let it be known. Now to this 20-minute long Vinny2 video. Let's go.
After going through the stuff I'd written to recap a decade of anime, I saw that you were really into the action anime one. Then, it dawned on me. Why don't I take one request to recap some of the great action anime from a decade further? So here we are. We'll take another deep dive down memory lane, and I'll try and give you a review of what the anime world was back like in the 2000s. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think that this is where a lot of the current anime fans got their start. Oh, in the glorious 2000s. For some of us, including me, these shows are the ones that paved the way for us to become the anime fans that we are today.
Is that
I'll
D
be running more
Gray,
serious
man?
calls this time, so that means that I won't be
That show is
counted
so
sequels for
dark.
picking my show of the year,
And
although
I'm
I
not
learned my
talking
lesson
about
from
like
the previous
tone.
video. What that means is that really excellent sequels that went far beyond their prequels will get an honorable mention at least. But you know,
Alright, that's cool. Yeah, no,
it's come out
that's not even that
huge.
threw me off.
The year
That
2000
show was just
as
so
the end
dark,
of the
like
world,
physically dark.
or a
You
massive
can't see
reckoning
anything
which would break computers
half the
everywhere.
time.
It was the anime world that opened with a bang.
Love
You
this
see,
show.
back then, the world didn't have 50 shows to watch every season, and anime
Facts.
series typically ran for way longer. These long runners were the norm as far as popular anime that saw light outside of Japan were concerned, and so are the shows that had anywhere from 20 to 30-ish episodes. Among those, I feel my pick for the year 2000's anime would have to be Hajime no Ippo. Yes,
Beautiful
the
show.
fan-favorite anime did get its start in October of that year, and it kickstarted a franchise that would eventually give us nearly 100 episodes of hyped fights, intense drama, and a journey that let us experience the blood, sweat, and tears these fighters go through in their road to absolute glory. For this year, though, it was a very, very close call. In terms of being a straight-up action series full of hype fights, Ippo takes this one easily, but in terms of fantasy adventures with a more balanced narrative, Inuyasha's pretty damn good. It's isekai before it was cool, and it captured the
Oh, that's very true. It was Isekai. I stopped watching Inuyasha like about 4 times. Every time I try to watch it, I'll start from episode 1, get bored, and I'll drop it. And come back years later, try it again, get bored, drop it. Hajime no Ippo, completely different. Completely the opposite. Hajime no Ippo, I picked it up for the first time, finished it. All bro, I was binge watching it. That's all I watched for a solid like week and a half. I wasn't even going to work at that time. Like I was watching Hajime no Ippo. It was a beautiful time. I missed those days.
hearts of the youth worldwide. It's a phenomenon that dragged boys and girls into anime thanks to the romance, the adventure, and the cool and cute characters. Now, I personally felt that the only thing hampering Inuyasha is how the plot seems to show little progress at some point, and the amount of fillers, something that it shares with a lot of long-running shonen around this time. This year also introduced us to cult classic
Ooh, Fooly
FLCL.
Cooly.
Oh, and Sayuki got its start here too. Journey to the West full of Fujo bait and legitimately awesome action? Count me in. 2001. 2021's the year where one of my favourite childhood shonen got its start this year. Its name, Shaman King.
His
Ever since I
body
was young, the
proportion
world
looks
of
so
spirits had
weird.
always captivated me, and this is the series that showed me how cool it is through the lens of anime. By all regards, I think that Shaman King could have taken the crown for 2001's Action Anime of the Year, except it couldn't quite hold on to the momentum later on. I mean, don't get me wrong, the second half of the anime had some really cool moments, and I stand by my opinion that some of the anime-only
Why his lips like
turned
that?
out better than their manga counterparts. For me, I think that the crown this
Why is his lips like that? That's crazy.
year belongs to Baki. Baki at that time was an innovator. It
Okay.
pushed the boundaries of what people considered can be normal for a modern-day fighting show and dazzled everyone with its absurdities and over-the-top fighting. A stark contrast from Ippo, definitely. While Baki didn't become quite as popular as a lot of its peers around this era, there's no denying its legacy. Not every show could get continuations decades ago, but our boy Baki did it with a bang. Actually, now that I think about it, I've been leaning towards fighting shows for 2 years already. Don't worry, it's all going to change next year because a storm is about to shake the anime world.
Now, I never actually watched Baki, but I watched Baki Hanma, and I watched Baki the Grappler. No, whatever one's on Netflix. I think Baki the Grappler is actually the original one. So it's just Baki. So I watched Baki and then Baki Hanma, and I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, the show was ass, but like it was fun ass. Like it was definitely fun ass. But yeah, the show was definitely ass. Like it was didn't make any sense. This man was fighting a giant grasshopper that he conjured up in his mind and was getting his ass beat by it. And it was physically like functioning like bro. And then his dad was like, "This man beat an imagined like he really just shit on the whole last 2 episodes. He's just like, bro, he's fighting an imaginary grasshopper. I'm killing real elephants out here. Like, nah, this that show was ass. I forgot how bad that was actually.
2002. If we're talking about
Okay,
influence and
yeah.
legacy, there's absolutely no
This is
doubt
goated.
that 2002's anime of the year is Naruto. The show that shaped the 2000s anime world outside Japan got its start this year, and it was a runaway success. Now, you can say what you want about Naruto, there's really no denying the lasting influence it left on the anime world, though. How many people started getting into the medium back then? I'm sure there were hordes of them. And you've got this jumpsuit-wearing ninja and his edgy lightning pal to thank for that, you know. I don't want Naruto to overshadow the blessings the anime world gifted us this year, though. Full Metal Panic, for one, and it's one of the mecha shows that are dear to my heart. If you want more sci-fi goodness, let me remind you that 2002 is also when Ghost in the Shell standalone complex released. Also, I don't know how many people watched this one, but I loved Get Backers. It's another shonen that debuted in 2002, and I really enjoyed following the duo's adventures as a young kid. I'm pretty sure that it's the show that opened the eyes of many anime fans to the concept of traps too, if that's anything. 2000.
Oh, he cut it off at the perfect time. That beat was about to have the in the back. Oh my goodness. But I remember having this one Naruto game. I don't remember if what the name. I think it was like it was before Broken Bonds. It was the first one, and like I enjoyed the mess out of it, but it stopped at the tuning exams. Naruto game Xbox 360. It wasn't one of the Storm games. It was Rise of Ninja. Rise of a Ninja. $27. My goodness. Naruto Rise of Ninja. I used to love this game. Be in this game heavy, heavy. I don't want images. I want images of gameplay. They got. I don't want to go on YouTube because that's technically. Wait, what is this? Walkthrough. I'm just look up the trailer. Thank you. Oh, I hit A on accident or something? Oh, Rise of Ninja trailer. Look at that. Look at this game. Look at this game. You just die? But like, look at this game. Now, like, show some actual gameplay. There we go. There we go. You remember, y'all? Please tell me in the comments y'all played this. This game used to be so elite. It used to be so fun. I spent hours on this game. There wasn't even that much to do. The amount of times I beat the story. This game was really like underrated. They did have that stage, but the story didn't even get to that point. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it stopped at the middle of the tuning exams when Orochimaru attacked, and then that like not even the did it? Yeah, no, it didn't even finish the thing because the arc I don't think was finished at the time in America at least. Oh, maybe they did. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it ended after the tuning exams and Orochimaru's attack, Third Hokage died. Yeah. Now then they're back to there. Then they stopped it, and yeah, there was more to come. And I was like, oh, I want
With
that game,
Naruto
but I
fever being in full
didn't
throttle
ever
here,
buy it.
it's
Or
not
my
easy
mom
to
never
see
bought it
why a
for me.
lot of shows got overshadowed. Still, some brave contenders rise up
I
to the
also
challenge
didn't even
with
know it
mixed
existed though.
results.
So
In the forefront of those is FMA, the original one. People vastly hype Brotherhood over the original FMA to
because
the
it's
point
better.
that I think that the latter's become underrated. Make sure you chime in on that one in the comment section if
It's
you think
so
so.
much
The anime world
drastically
around
better.
this time also seems to be toying with the idea of hard sci-fi a lot. While cyberpunk or hard sci-fi settings weren't as big of a...
Actually, you know what I really want? I want them to do Full Metal Alchemist again, like freshen up the animation, but then have that shit like the entire thing. Cause you know how Brotherhood they skipped like a good chunk of the manga because you know they already did it. So they're like, well, these details we don't need to add them again because people already saw it. But like Full Metal Alchemist, the original, the end half is like the stuff that like throws things off. So if they just redo it all, have the whole thing just out there like that. You know, I just the imagination, but that's not what I'm trying to do. If they just have the whole thing as one piece, that'll be the perfect form of media. It's like if they took Death Note Part One and then the Death Note movie for Part Two and combined it to make like Death Note, and then they flip the other one and put Death Note Advanced or something like that. And that's what we have with Full Metal. So I just want the whole complete thing. I just want Full Metal Alchemist. Well, it has to be named something else because the original was Full Metal Alchemist. They just really just name it Full Metal Alchemist. They'll just put the year on the first one, and then the new one, you know, like they always do. They just put 2003 or whatever year we're on.
As isekai in the past few years, the selection of key action anime is pretty telling. You had Ghost in the Shell and FMP the previous year, and 2003 gave us Technolize, Last Exile, Gungrave, and my favorite pick for anime of the year, Kino's Journey. Kino's Journey is an adventure anime that has quite the different approach. You'd expect shows like
I've
this
never
to have
heard
a
of any of these.
protagonist who goes from town to town, shooting down the bad guys and just generally being cool. However, Kino's Journey is quite contemplative. Instead of a long narrative, the series is episodic and focuses more on the wide range of characters and cultures in its very vast
Why he got
world.
them Piccolo
It's quite
shoulder
an
blades on?
intelligent show that deals with a varied spectrum of themes. Now, it's a unique approach that caught me off guard when I first watched it, and I think that it was around that time that I really saw the power of the medium. Despite me still loving the action shows more, Kino's Journey was an eye-opener. It's a show that I'd gladly recommend to anyone to this day.
Imagine being like building your reputation, and then you're a big good sword fighter, you're the best, and then you go into fight, and there's a kid with a gun, and they're just talking him up like he's better than you. It's like, bro, he's got a gun. Like, he, like, take away the gun, I'm stomping him. I'm not fighting. He's got a gun. Like, I have a sword. It's so unfair. Like, nah, bro.
2004 was quite the eventful year, don't you agree? Quick Google searches would reveal that this is the year that popular shows like Elfen Lied and Gantz made their debut, continuing with the sci-fi train as you can see there. Now, with a dash of psychological thrown in, it's really an aesthetic that you can associate with this era of anime, right? The more Western-oriented aesthetic and ambiance that a number of people are wishing that anime would go back to. Oh, and Samurai Champloo, a show that I've repeatedly talked good things about, also got its start in this year.
Did not know that.
It's got a very unique atmosphere to it that makes it stand out so much. Until now, when you say that hip-hop samurai anime, there can only be one, of course, and it's a show that I'm imploring you to watch. This year's pick, however, well,
that did have Samurai Champloo did have a like early Toonami's vibe. It was something I probably saw back then.
What I think is visually the coolest among the big three shonen is
Bleach started this year? Oh, there was no competition.
Naruto in my videos, but make no mistake, it's the most stylish amongst the three.
No, yeah, Bleach was goated back then.
That makes it so awesome to like. Maybe it's the character designs, which exude rebel teen energy, something that I vastly prefer over the more whimsical and cartoony designs of most shonen before
Yeah,
this era.
that's
There's
very
also
true.
the
They look
Shikai
like
and
little
Bankai
kids
taking
back
all
then.
shades of cool,
Now they
thanks
look
to the
like
brilliance
teenagers.
of Daite Kubo. Ghostbusters turned into Dragon Ball Z with magical sword samurais and battles against gods. How epic can you be? Easily animated.
If you got to add that much stuff, it's something completely different. All right, we gonna throw away the whole comparison he just did because that was way too much like mixed in. It's like, bro, it's something completely different at this point. If you mix that much stuff in, you're just creating something new. Don't even try to compare it. Ghostbusters, like what? Say that again.
Magical sword samurais and battles of Daite Kubo. Ghostbusters turned into Dragon Ball Z
Turned into Dragon Ball Z
with magical sword samurais and
with magical sword samurais
battles against gods.
in battles against gods. That's honestly, that sounds like all of Dragon Ball. Actually, the Ghostbusters part is GT because you gotta travel search for the Dark Dragon Balls. But I mean, they're pretty much Ghost. So no, I'm playing. No, but yeah, no, it's completely different. Like that's too many things you threw together. That's too many things you threw together to make a comparison.
Easily anime of the year, 2005.
A good comparison is it's like this, but this is different. That's a good comparison. If you throw in but this and this and this is different, this like so it's not like this at all. This is so much different. It's not like this then.
2005 is where the transition to the next era of anime started. While the anime
This might be the
sphere was
longest
quite
video
heavy
ever.
on sci-fi,
Boy, oh
the
my
midpoint
God.
of the decades where things started transitioning to softer sci-fi. Instead of robots and steampunk settings, we now begin to see more anime taking place in the modern neighborhood, filled with supernatural elements. Law of Ueki comes to mind, and I hope that more people will share their fond memories of this one. Then, a perennial favorite of mine with that urban fantasy setting is Shakugan no Shana. I do have a strong bias for it, and I came really close to crowning it this year. Ultimately, it stands as a runner-up, side by side with my personal pick for this year, Blood Plus. Way before the vampire craze, Blood Plus gave us a glimpse of it as it combines horror and action that, while may not seem too original in terms of premise, ended up being an awesome ride.
I haven't watched this yet, but I've definitely heard of it.
That
is really good.
PG-13 and R-18, and as teenagers, nothing can be cooler for us back in the day than that, right? Overall, Blood Plus is probably one of the more genuinely good shows that I can recommend to people, thanks to its high-octane action and sleek art and animation. Plus, not a lot of fan service or cliches often associated with anime these days, and that's speaking in a relative manner. Still, the high fantasy and medieval-esque settings aren't dead, with that Basilisk, Tsubasa Chronicle, and Trinity Blood. For those who wanted some hot-blooded sports action, 2005 also gave us iShield 21. 2006.
Okay, we're halfway over.
2006 is
That was a good year.
a banger. There's no other way to put it.
That was a good
so let's
year.
get on with this amazing
Look at
year.
them eyes.
As said in the series clause, standout
That's
sequels
Hellsing, right?
will be given shout-outs, so here's to Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah.
Thanks for your help in making 2006 awesome, good friend.
Thanks for your help, Team 4-Star, for having me actually watch the show. If it wasn't for them, I would not have watched the show. And I didn't even watch the original. But I didn't. Okay. I watched the Team 4-Star version. So I feel like I watched the show because they do the. Because from Dragon Ball Bridge, it's pretty much the same show, just comedic. But you get the exact same gist, the same storyline, same plots for the most part. So that's why I'm just like, I pretty much watched the show.
Dean Stay Night. It also made its debut in 2006, and we at the time had
You
no
said
idea
Dean
what the
Stay
Fate
Night?
series would end up turning into the following decade. It shows that some of the most hyped anime, movie trilogies, and video game cash cows all had to start from humble beginnings. Rei Kugimiya continues to roll in, cementing her status as the 2000 Tsundere Queen with a familiar of Zero. It's around this time that the Shana clones have started coming around, and Kugimiya herself would continue getting star-making roles the next few years in non-action anime, mind you. Shonen shows continue trying to make their mark with varied levels of success. While D. Grayman is now more known for the manga going on hiatus, it was a big deal back then. The latter can be said of Hitman Reborn, although that manga had the benefit of ending conclusively to a mixed reception. 2006, though, came down to two mega hits that shaped the anime landscape. On one hand, you have Code Geass, hailed by many as one of the greatest anime ever made. It's not hard to argue with the facts. It's such a cultural landmark that continues to get new movies and series made, and it really made such a big impact with its masterful mixing of genres. You get the mecha, the psychological, the political, peppered by the handsome guys and waifus. It would have been a no-brainer to give Code Geass the crown, but it unfortunately ran into another powerhouse.
I was about to say, this man is gobbling Code Geass's nuts. Oh my goodness. It wasn't that good. It was good. It wasn't that good. And the ending was amazing though. I'm not gonna lie. That ending was probably one of the better endings I've seen in an anime. But my goodness, like he was hyping this up like it was the best thing to ever touch the grace of Earth. I'm just like, dog, it's cool. It's good. I enjoyed it a lot. But damn.
Gintama.
Okay.
Gintama also does the genre mixing well. Comedy, action, drama. I mean, need I say more? It goes all out in parodies and gives you fits of laughter before slamming you with some of the epic sword fights and brawls that you've ever seen in anime. Then, it hits you hard with touching backstories that will stick with you for years to come. Gintama's truly an amazing anime that recently got a send-off whose quality is just as it deserved. Both shows are very good contenders for Anime of the Year, and I've got to give Gintama the edge just ever so slightly. Let me leave 2006 with this question. Will you get with Gintama over Code Geass, or will you have it the other way round?
Oh, that's a hard question though. That's a hard question. I mean, I'm gonna stick with Gintama over Code Geass, because there was times where I was dead ass bored. First couple of episodes of Code Geass was the most boring things I've ever seen in my life. It picked up, of course, but there's some episodes where I was just sitting here like, oh, this is over yet? There's a few. It was a few. It was enough to mention.
After the blockbuster year that 2006 was, it would understandably be hard to get quite on that level. And honestly, it kind of felt that way too. While 2007 didn't have any hits that could be on par with Code Geass, it did have some heavyweights of its own. Look at it this way. 2007 is the year that unleashed Gurren Lagann to the world, and we all know how that went. A hot-blooded visual spectacle that people remember and love to this very day. I'd also consider 2007 the year of action movies, if anything. Just as a footnote, this is the year we got the first Garden of Sinners, the first of the Eva Rebuild movies, as well as Sword of the Stranger. More underrated hits continued in this year, with Moribito and Darker Than Black, the latter decisively more popular.
I watched none of those.
Western aesthetics in anime are also alive with Claymore, Afro Samurai,
and
my pick
play
for
the
this
game.
year, Bacano. What makes Bacano so good? Well, I could start with a nice mixture of genres along with a slight supernatural backdrop. If you've noticed, actually, a lot of my picks so far have this thing where contrasting genres like comedy, drama, and action get mixed in a way that one element doesn't hamper everything else, and instead, it all just complements each other. It makes the show easily introduced to newbies, and it really helps if the show is devoid of the usual fan service or extreme violence that a lot of people who didn't know better would actually associate with the medium. Amongst those shows, I think that it's Bacano that does this balancing act the best, while pairing it with those good old oldies feel in terms of atmosphere and tone. I wouldn't call it emblematic of what you'd expect of these hidden gem anime of this era, but it's one of those shows that you can take one look at and immediately get a flashback of a bygone era in anime's history. It's also got a dub with a stellar reputation, so you might want to check that out too.
That might be... I've been looking for something to watch.
As we approach the end of the decade, we start seeing those big hitters. Not to say
I can't
that
watch
shows
it
are
right
any
now.
less good, but it's just that the action series around this time never reached the influence the previous big hitters had. Off the top of my head, the most popular amongst the 2008 batch is possibly A Certain Magical Index, yet another urban fantasy that
Shout out Psycho Edits.
Look, I just love these urban fantasies with...
Every time I think of A Certain Magical Index now, it just in my brain is whatchamacallit, is Psycho. It's in my brain.
Supernatural elements and pseudo-harems if it's not obvious by now. In its time, Index was wildly popular and spawned numerous spin-offs. While it's a shell of itself now in terms of popularity, the A Certain series of anime still ends up making a bit of noise when new titles get announced. I think more people like Railgun a lot better though. 2008 also had Black Butler, probably on par with Index in terms of popularity. The first season, I really loved it. The second season, not so much. But it's still a landmark show that got a lot of female fans into the whole anime thing.
Yeah,
it's not just for the...
I was about to say, this show, I was going to watch it. I don't know if this is the right word to use, but it looks really sus, if you know what I mean. Like, it gives that vibe off, it's like they're potentially lovers, but it's like, why is no, no, I'm good on that. So that's why I haven't watched this yet. Let me know if it's not like that, but it just feels sus to me. I really don't know the right word. That sus is not the proper word. Um, but it's just too sexual. Like it's not sexual. It just has a sexual vibe. That's why I say sus is a better word because sus doesn't have to be sexual. Sus is just not the perfect word for it.
Though, remember, and I'll vouch for the interesting developments and plot that the first season gave us. Start for the premise and the banger opening
Shout
was
out
sick.
Biden Ross.
Stay for the suspenseful plot and the action. Ultimately, the win goes to Soul Eater. While the previous two titles have their niches, and Index in particular has a universe that's a can of worms, which isn't quite different from the Fate series, Soul
I
Eater
used to
is a
love
more
this show.
accessible show to get into. It's an entertaining supernatural action show that has a little of everything and could help a prospective viewer ease into an anime watching habit, while lacking the gratuitous levels of fan service that the creators' Otherworld Fire Force had gotten flack for. Other niche hits in this era include Birdie the Mighty and Real Drive. If the synopses interest you, you should definitely check those ones out. 2009. Now, I find myself in a bit of a bind. Remember the series clause? It prevents me from outright failing what many consider to be one of the best anime of
My
all
heart.
time. Yes,
Love that
keep
show.
my anime list.
Oh.
Everyone's favorite FMA Brotherhood. The title's well deserved too. Personally, I think perfection is something that is statistically impossible, but FMA Brotherhood just has so many things going for it. Whether you like it for the plot, the character stories, the drama,
Nah,
the
this
art,
is
the
mine.
themes,
This
the
is
meaning,
mine.
or just all of it, FMAB has something that would strike deep and embed itself into your heart for years to come. Heck, I'd throw the show into contention for anime of the decade, and I'm confident that it would definitely get the win.
That's
That's
facts.
how good it is.
Well,
With the
no,
consensus
Gintama
action
in the
anime of
decade.
year,
Gintama in the decade. Code Geass in the decade. Naruto's in the decade. It's it'll be up there. It's definitely top 5. It's definitely top. I'm not saying those are better, but like, when did Death Note come out? Didn't Death Note come out in like 2010? Hold up.
running, what are we left with then? Well,
Let me find this out actually right now. Let me find this out right now. If you can add the tab, thank you. Actually, I had an idea. Just action anime 20 oh 2000s. No, I need like Wikipedia or something. Wikipedia got all the information. WIK. See, I always it's Wikipedia, but I always say Wikipedia, and it messes up my spelling. Should do this by year. All right. 2000. First, I want to see 2009. What else they got? Dragon Ball Z Kai. Afro Samurai. All right. Soul Eater. 2008. Okay, so wait. Did he just take this list from this look man? Okay, no. Okay, no. I was about to say Naruto Shippuden came out 2007. I mean, I didn't see that till like 2020. Honestly, that's how long it takes them to dub things. Death Note. Let me just look up the by name. D for Death Note. I already passed the E's. Darker Daughter, Devilman, Digimon. Nope, no Death Note. Alright, so it's non-2000s. So then when did Death Note come out? 2006 film? What? Did I like miss it at some point? $2006. Oh, it's a Mr. Bro, oh my god. Oh my gosh, y'all probably yelling in the comments like, you dumb motherfucker, bro. Oh my, now I feel stupid. I feel so dumb. Bruh. I completely forgot. I even typed in action anime and I completely forgot Death Note is not an action anime. It was really good. It's just really that good. I was like, man, whatever. It's in every genre.
Phantom, Eden of the East.
Oh my
Sengoku Basara,
gosh.
Kanan? Oh, Fairy Tail also got its start this year, so let's go with that one. It's not a debate that among those I mentioned, Fairy Tail is by far the show that gets the mainstream appeal. A light-hearted adventure show that takes us through the sights and sound of hero Mashima's colourful world managed to garner quite a lot of love from anime fans. You can say what you want about the latter part of Fairy Tail and the memes about Nakama power, fake deaths and fan service, but the magic was literally there in the first few arcs.
Yeah.
That part of the show really displayed Mashima's pedigree in writing light adventures and serious plots, along with creating characters that you all grow to love and care about.
The fan service did get ridiculous later,
2010.
though. It got ridiculous.
We've reached the end point of the video. So what does the anime world look like? Well, some show called K-On! Was raising eyebrows left and right and ushering a new age of KyoAni dominance, bringing in loads and loads and loads of cash through merchandise. In the action side of things, well, since we're in the topic of fan service already, why not give High School of the Dead a passing mention? Anime trying to get into the impending zombie media craze with this anime that with no doubt immediately makes anyone think of Japan with one look at the character designs. Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan is also such an underrated shonen. It never quite became as big as those in the tier of, say, Reborn, which I think is just criminal considering how intriguing the series' backdrop was, and I was thoroughly invested in the characters, their dynamics, and their personal drama. Plus, it made yokai really cool and got me interested in reading up on Japanese myths. Katana Gatari and Angel Beats are other landmark shows
I
that
know
got
Angel
their
Beats is
start
that
this
old.
year. Angel Beats already gets a lot of love, so I'd like to implore you to try out Katana Gatari. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with Araragi, Hitagi, and Friends. But hey, it's written by the same author as Monogatari. So, what's the action anime that takes the last crowning spot? Durarara. It's ironic
Durarara?
Durarara for 2010
Durarara?
victory to Bakano a few years back. Because the two series are strikingly similar, being written by the same author, Durarara gives us all
Durarara.
the same that we love about Bakano, only in a more modern setting. You get the great art, the interesting characters, and a surprisingly complex narrative that opens up the idea of how much perspectives matter. While I won't say that the characters are terribly complex, they have a charm that makes them stand out and attractive in their own ways. It's not the perfect anime, but it's got a storytelling style that sets it apart from its peers from the same year and a unique
Wow.
approach that makes it stand out to people looking to get into anime as a whole.
I'm gonna have to watch. This is
So
the
how
one with
did
the
you find
alligator
this
face
decade
dude,
in
right?
review?
In the
Was there
CG.
anything that I forgot to mention that you think should have been included? Well, don't hesitate to tell me. I had a great
That
time
did
writing
remember where was the JoJo's. I don't even think he ever mentioned a JoJo. I'm pretty sure. When did I keep always going to my phone when I want to look something up. When did JoJo's Bizarre Adventure first come out? Before I forget, Angel Beats. There it is.
Monogatari. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with Araragi, Hitagi, and Friends. But hey, it's written by the same author as Monogatari. So, what's the action anime that takes the
Did I not click on
this
that?
year?
There we go.
Angel Beats.
So, my dumb ass is when you see this scene, what do you first think, huh? Cause me, I thought she was gonna pin him. I thought she was gonna pull his leg up. Ref come out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. It's over. It's over, bro. Like I was tweaking for a second. I was just like, is she going for the cover? I don't know. Whatever y'all think of is probably not that. That's what I thought of first. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh my gosh. When did JoJo's Bizarre Adventure start? That was really quick. That was very quick. Bizarre Adventure. Oh wow. Wait, anime. It might be 2012. Okay. Okay. Is this the original or the reboot? No, the reboot was it was recent, I think. Yeah, because it's on Netflix. Huh? Why am I dumb? Why am I why am I dumb? Alright, I'm getting out of here. Hope y'all enjoy. Like the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.